Right, let me hide that. And hi everyone, hopefully somebody is around and you can hear me. I am Nicole, as most of you will know, and I'm here tonight to talk to you all about hygiene in the salon and like cleaning your tools and stuff like that. I know that is something that some people do get a bit confused by. So we have got, if I can find it, I'm first going to talk about the importance of like not getting sanitizing and disinfecting confused, because that is something that a lot of people do get confused. So your sanitizing definition would be to clean, to remove all visible debris or residue, which always should be followed by disinfecting. And then the definition of disinfecting is the use of chemicals to destroy germs or bacteria on non-living surfaces, i.e. our files, our desk, our whatever else we use. And that step is super important to keep both us and our clients safe. And a combination of both sanitizing and disinfecting is going to give us a super high standard of hygiene in your salon. You are going to have peace of mind that you are safe, especially in times like at the moment with all the bugs flying around. You know that your clients are safe in your hands, and you know that you've got safe tools and a safe area to work in. And I think that is something that is super important. So that is that. And then does anyone have any questions so far before I carry on? And if not, that is fine. Cool. So the next up, I will go through, we've obviously, in the theory of nails, we do go through hygiene and stuff like that in quite a bit of depth. So you can check that module out if that is something you are wanting to like brush up on or not relook into, but like go over again if you're an existing tech wanting to upskill. And next up, I will talk about the difference between porous tools and non-porous tools. So a tool that is porous is a single-use or disposable tool. So that could be like your lint-free wipes, your little like orange wood sticks or wooden files, card files, I guess that is, like the exact file that can't be disinfected. What else? Anything. Sanding bands for your e-files, they are porous, so they're going to absorb any liquid. And then examples of our non-porous tools, which are tools that can be reused, disinfected and reused, are things like our manicure brush, our files. The ones that have the plastic centers are disinfectable. You can literally put these in hot soapy water and scrub them and then go in with your disinfectant, and that will definitely give you peace of mind that they're nice and clean. You just need to make sure that they're totally dry before you use them again. And yeah, so that is the difference between porous and non. And I think I've gone through, yeah, so other things that are non-porous will be like your cuticle pusher and your desk, your lamp, stuff like that. Anything that is porous that comes into contact with blood, i.e. one of your files, and I would even put this down to the files that are disinfectable. They just need to immediately be discarded and never used again, and you do your blood spill drill. So do your double bag and change your gloves and apply a plaster, etc., etc. If you've got stuck into the theory of nails module, you will know what I am talking about. So there is that. That would be chucked away. It is super bad practice to reuse that. Obviously, you've got your table towels, which can absorb liquid and stuff. And they're fine to reuse. You will need to shake out the debris and do them on a super hot wash and I actually also put Dettol in my wash with my towels and stuff, just to be extra cautious. And they're fine to be reused, but obviously you don't want to be reusing your like lint-free wipes and stuff like that. Another thing that will be, I guess, of use for quite a few of you would be a non-porous tool, learning how to clean your e-file bits. So I've got mine in a little container, and when I finish with them, I pop them in here, and then at the end of the day, I'll go through and do my cleaning of them, just so I'm not constantly cleaning throughout the day, because that can be a drag. So yeah, you would remove all of your debris with a manicure brush, and then sometimes, especially with my e-file bits, I use a wire brush to really get into all the little grooves. And then you'll go through and you can scrub them with your hot soapy water. I use really hot water, and then also spray with my trusty Clean, which I use on everything in the salon. I've just sprayed that on myself. And then I also have a tool disinfectant that I decided not to go with Clean on my tools. You can use it. I found that it made my e-file bits a little bit blunt, so I've decided I'll do the hot soapy water scrub situation, and then I also use an antiseptic disinfectant spray on all my e-file bits, and then let them dry. And then I also actually, to prevent any rusting with my e-file bits and cuticle pushers, I also dry them and then put them away, and that keeps me sure that they're not going to have any rust or anything like that on them, and they are going to last me a decent amount of time. What else have we got? Yeah, and then with your files and your manicure brush, you get rid of all the debris and then scrub in your hot soapy water, and then I go through and I completely saturate my files and buffers with the Clean, and then I just have like a mesh rack that has paper towels on it, and I let my files and stuff air dry on that, and then like I say, I do after a little bit dry off my cuticle pushers and all my metal tools basically, just to avoid our rust. And you do want to make sure that when you are doing this method for your sanitizing and disinfecting, that you are letting the tools completely dry before you are reusing them. So I do it at the end of the day and then leave it overnight, and then by the time I'm ready to get stuck in the next morning, they're all ready to go. You can also use for cleaning tools an immersion method. So immerse your tools. You would obviously still get rid of any debris or anything that's on them, but instead of spraying with a disinfectant and then leaving it to air dry, you will then immerse in your disinfectant for 10 minutes and then bring them out and leave that to air dry. The same, personal preference, whichever you like. Whatever works for you, obviously do that, but do be aware with the immersion method that you will reduce the lifespan of your files quicker, just because our files, they have grit on them, which is what makes them rough and makes them do their file thing. They have their grit glued to them, and if you're going to be scrubbing or immersing them quite a bit in water, that is obviously going to break down the glue that does have our grit adhered to it, so they will just break down faster, which means you'll need to replace them faster. So that is that. And next I will run through, so also don't forget about your surfaces for cleaning in between clients, like your desk. I do my gel lamp, I do my desk, my whole desk area gets sprayed with Clean and wiped down with paper towels. I even go through and do my desk light, because sometimes I touch it while I'm working and move it, and I don't want to pass that on to the next person. I do also even go one step further, and I do actually also wipe down my EPOS machine with a Dettol wipe. These are the ones I have at the moment. And they're just hospital grade disinfectant wipes. So I've got a nice stash of those. And yeah, so it's very important to keep, obviously not your tools and your towels and things like that clean, but also your workspace as well. Obviously remembering to change gloves in between clients, of course. And yeah, so that is that. When you have your clean tools, it is equally as important how you store them. You don't want to store them in an airtight container. You want to store them in somewhere that has like holes so airflow can happen. Otherwise, if something is a little bit wet, it can promote bacteria growth in something that is airtight. So I have all of my files in these little manicure boxes, and I believe they're from AliExpress. I got them quite a while ago, so I can't remember. That's, I think, where I got them from. So they're super cheap, and I just had this on my desk, and I had one for each client of the day, and I put my dirty tools back in here when I'm finished with that client and pop that out the back. And then at the end of the day, I go through and I do all my cleaning at once. The only thing I would note is make sure you're storing your dirty tools away from your clean tools, and make sure they're separate and labeled and whatnot. And I also do the same with my washing. I have a dirty washing basket and a clean basket for clean linen and stuff that is ready to use. And then yeah, with this, I've just seen this again, this little bit container, I guess. It's actually, so it's plastic, it's got a little lid, which I really like because I can leave it in my desk and just chuck my dirty bits in it throughout the day as I'm working. It also has, I don't know if you can see, it's got like a mesh insert, so you can pop liquid into here, and then when you pull this out, the liquid's going to come out. And not have them sitting there, but I, like I said, prefer to not immerse my bits just because I find they go a bit blunt. I also have a bit case which has breathable holes, and that's how I store all my e-file bits. And I know that if there is a bit in this kind of container, it is clean, and if it's in here, that means it's dirty. It's really nice to be able to super quickly and easily distinguish that. And what else have I got? I think that's about it for that. I've gone through, I think, most things already. And by the way, if anyone has any questions while you are watching, please let me know, and I will jump in and try and answer your questions. So next thing I would go through would be your different disinfectant solutions you could use. So there is different types of disinfectants that you can use. Obviously there's the ViraClean that I use. I also have Lucicide, which I believe you mix it with water. I haven't tried it yet, but you can. That is another brand of really good disinfectant. I know it has a really good name for it. But yeah, I use ViraClean, and it is a hospital grade disinfectant, so you know it's going to kill all the things. So you can use that, and that doesn't need watering down or anything like that. That's just in the bottle ready to go. But you do need to make sure that it hasn't expired. So these bottles that you buy, and you can buy them in 5-litre containers as well, they have a little expiry date on the bottom. So this one says used by March 23. So by March next year, I will 100% have used this. But yeah, you want to make sure that you're not using old disinfectant because it will be not as effective. You can also use a bleach solution, so 1 part bleach to 9 parts water, whether you do 100 mils of bleach and 900 mils of water, or however you want to measure it out, you can use that. And then you can use an isopropyl alcohol solution, which is 70 to 90% isopropyl alcohol, and then mix that with 30% to to 10% water. So super strong for some of these mixes is not necessarily going to be as effective. So you can't just use isopropyl alcohol and spray it on everything and think that it's going to clean everything. It's actually too strong to be able to clean like surfaces, e-file bits, whatever. And it it evaporates really like way too quickly to be able to do its job of killing all the bacteria, bugs, whatever is on there, to disinfect it. So that water that you add to the isopropyl alcohol gives it enough time to let the object that you are disinfecting stay wet for long enough to be able to kill that bacteria, and then it evaporates. Hopefully that makes sense for everyone. And do let me know if there is anything you want me to show you that I have. I think I've shown you everything that's on my desk. I've got a little thing, a little lineup of things to show everyone. And then the next bit I will just touch on, which I think is super important, is that where are we? You really want to set a nice high standard of hygiene in your salon. Like that is something that like no one wants to be the dirty salon. And I'm sure if you have studied with Monaco, you're not going to be the dirty salon because you will know the importance of that. And it's totally up to you what method you choose to disinfect and clean your area with. Like cleaning your towels. Like I know some people, they choose not to put Dettol or disinfectant into their washing machine with their towels. They just choose to use a hot wash. I do both. That's just what I'm happy to do. And whatever works for you, as long as you know that you are keeping yourself and your clients safe, that's totally fine. And just choose what you feel is right for you. And then another thing that I will touch base on really quickly, which I think quite a few people find interesting, is that New Zealand is not particularly regulated when it comes to nail techs. So any Joe Blogs can go out there and be like, I'm a nail tech and come to my house and I'll do your nails, and they don't know a single thing about what paronychia is, about what Pseudomonas is, anything like that. Like they'll just do it basically. Whereas for Monaco, we know that if there's pain, pus or inflammation, you will not be working on that client due to risk of spreading infection and things like that. So yeah, New Zealand is not regulated, so the people that are going out and spreading all these germs around to people and not having super clean salons and passing bugs on, they're unfortunately just giving us a bit of a bad name, which I think as nail techs we do get a bit of a bad rap, which sucks. And then you've got the United States, for example, which it is a very regulated industry. They've got rules set in place for how you need to disinfect and how you need to document that you disinfect, and like certain levels to adhere to. Whereas as well in Auckland City in Auckland, we do have rules around needing a health license and things like that. And it's a little bit more structured than the rest of the country. But if you're outside of Auckland, you don't need a health license or anything, and you are good to go. So I guess as long as you know that you are doing what is right, that is what matters. And you know you are keeping yourself and your clients safe, and that you're also storing your products in safe ways, you're cleaning them in safe ways, and just being hygienic, really. So there is that. So there's no set rule of when you disinfect or when you sanitize or disinfect, you must use the spray method or you must use the immersion method. Like, we can choose what we believe is best for us and roll with that, which I like, but it also it does, I guess, leave a bit of a question mark for some people if they're not quite sure, they haven't had much training and they're not quite sure where to go. So that is why the theory of nails is a super important module that we get all of you to enroll in when you do study with Monaco. Yeah, it's given myself, from when I was studying, a really good understanding of what is acceptable and what is needed, and what is, like, again, like I said at the start of this live stream, what is the definition of sanitization and disinfection, and what is the difference between the two? Because I think that's important. I think people do get a bit confused with that sometimes, so it's nice to have that really clearly outlined for us as nail techs, to make sure we've got all the information and tools and resources that we need to keep us safe, and to keep our space nice and clean, and keep our clients safe, and be getting that that message out there that not all nail techs are doing unhygienic practices and that sort of thing. And I'm sure you will get my drift if you like. I know we do talk about non-standard salons potentially reusing sanding bands and stuff like that. Like, I've firsthand been to a non-standard salon years and years and years ago, and I remember they were using a sanding band on me, and then they were obviously like, oh, this one isn't really working that well. I've chucked it in the drawer, pulled out another random one that I could see was already used, and popped that on, and away they went. Whereas that is a massive no-no, and that's gonna, if someone had say, what am I trying to say? If someone had greenies or something like that, that potentially could have been passed on to me or anyone else who had that sanding band used on them. So that is why that is super important, and it's really nice that our Monaco students and our Monaco grads are able to get out to their clients the, I guess, correct standard of hygiene and tool cleaning. Yeah, so making sure everything's nice and clean, everyone's safe, and so not only you're getting beautiful sets of nails, but you're also getting them in a safe and hygienic way, and you know and trust that your tech is looking after you. So that is pretty much my little spiel. Does anyone have any questions before I go? I may have gone through some things a little bit quickly, so let me know if there is anything that you do want me to run over again. I'll just wait for a second and see. But yeah, basically, while we're here, we've got a few minutes up our sleeves. So what I do, say I've used, we'll do this one. So I've got my little file box that I have used with my client. Once my client leaves, my last client leaves for the day, obviously in between clients as well, I wipe down my desk, my lamp, my gel lamp, my shelving, and my wrist rest, which you can see behind me, and also my EPOS machine. And so that's my in-between client spiel. And then at the end of the day, I've got a nice pile of boxes full of dirty stuff that I need to clean. And then also this with all my dirty e-file bits. So I will rinse them in hot water first, and then grab my wire brush and scrub like there is no tomorrow. I'm just going to do this sort of roughly. Obviously, there's nothing actually on there. It is clean. And then after that, I would spray it in my antiseptic and then let it sit for a couple of minutes, and then come back and dry those. And same again with my cuticle pushers. I wash them in the hot soapy water, remove all the debris before then, and then spray with the antiseptic, let them sit for a few minutes, and then dry everything off, if that makes sense. And I can't see who that is asking me. It's just come up as Facebook user has asked me if my wrist rest fits over my gel lamp and my dust collector, and yes, it does. I do find that I've actually got a couple of little nicks out of my dust collector from when my clients lean on this. It kind of puts pressure and oh, hey Nikita, how are you? Oh, and Melissa. Hi, Melissa. When my clients do lean on this, it kind of puts pressure on, and these little leg bits have kind of taken chunks out of my, not chunks, but like they've taken some colour off my dust collector, which I'm not thrilled about, but it's fine. But yes, it does definitely fit. You could probably put some foam underneath it or something like that to stop that from happening, but that boat has sailed for me now, so I'm just gonna leave it as it is. And the gel lamp, there's no issue whatsoever with that. Yes, just the regulars. Nice to see you guys. Thanks for joining. It's always nice to know there are some people watching. And then with, I've forgotten where I was now, but yeah, so we've talked about these tools, and then also with our files, I will get my manicure brush and scrub off all the debris. And as you can see, I go pretty ham on them. And then spray or completely wash if I want to. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. More often than not, I just spray these in ViraClean, and I only wash all of my like metal tools and stuff with the hot soapy water, as well as spray. So these will usually get just saturated with ViraClean, and then they sit on my tray to air dry. And then as well, which I think is just important and some people do forget about, I also clean these every night. So I rinse them out with hot water, spray them with ViraClean, and let them sit for a few minutes, and then rinse them out again with super hot water, and then just like leave them upside down and let them air dry as well. And then so in the morning, before I get ready for clients, I'll go in and I lost something, that's fine. I'll go in and like repack all of my little boxes, and then when I have the clean ones, they're all in a specific drawer, and I know if they're in there, they're clean. Yeah, so hopefully that has been a little bit helpful. If no one has any other questions, I think I can leave that there. I don't know how I've managed to go on for half an hour about that, but here we are. Hopefully it's been really helpful for you, even if you are watching this in the future and you're not here with us live. If you have any questions, feel free to just chuck them down below, and I will, or someone, one of us, will get back to you with the answer to your questions. And let me know if there is anything else that you would be interested in seeing for these kind of lives. I thought it was nice to do a different kind of live, still useful, but not necessarily to do with a product. Yeah, so that was fun. I think, yeah, our hygiene is super important. And yeah, I think it is, I guess, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but yeah, like you can have the prettiest nails in the world, but if you accidentally give someone greenies, then that's what they will remember you for. They won't remember you for the beautiful set of nails that you did, basically. And as Monaco techs, we do want to strive and be as clean and hygienic as we can. Yeah, so that is me. And Mel has just said, I would, let me read that properly. I would have liked to watch a client from start to finish, because she really likes seeing how other people do their services. That is definitely something that I will look into. I'll see if I can wrangle someone, or if one of the other mentors can wrangle someone to come in for a manicure, and we can live stream it on a Thursday. I'll see who I can find. I really like that idea. Thanks, Mel. Yeah, so that is me for tonight. And again, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and we will get back to you when we can. Yeah, but that's all me for now. Thank you for those of you that did join me live. It was nice to have some people watching me spill words out. And I will see you next week. See you later. Bye.